man. I must surrender to his will, yeah. I must submit. I can't make the household decisions, 'cause I am unfit. He tells me my place with everlasting grace. The Bible tells me I must be silent, you can't hear my voice. My role has been divinely defined, and I have no other choice. I may not be a teacher of man, I must cover up my shame. These are the laws of the one who in vain I cannot name. He tells me my place with everlasting grace. And my punishment for wanting to learn is a painful birth from which I may not return. The Bible tells me that I am unclean, I am impure, you cannot touch me, and it has nothing to do with where I've been. It is part of who I am. It is because I corrupt man. I was asking for it just by being a woman. He tells me my place with everlasting grace. And my punishment for wanting to learn is the painful birth from which I may not return. The Bible tells me I was made for and from man, and I must do for him everything that I can. I must surrender to his will, yeah. I must submit. I can't make the household decisions, 'cause I am unfit. It tells me my place. It tells me my place.
Almost got to us.
With everlasting grace.
I'm David Silverman, President of American Atheists and proud chair of the Reason Rally Coalition, and I would like to welcome you all to this, the largest atheist gathering in world history. We are here to celebrate secular values, those values which we accept as Americans but have no religious basis. Diversity, equality, charity, compassion, and reason, just to name a few. Nationwide, the non-religious population is both the fastest growing and the most despised. I ask you all, why is that? Why are we hated when we endorse no violence, incite no racism or hatred, and demand nothing more than equal treatment? I'll tell you why. It's easy to hate what you don't know, and the theists don't know us. Well, actually, they do know us, but they don't know they know us, because most atheists in this country are closeted. Bigotry is born of ignorance, but ignorance can be cured. If the atheists weren't closeted, it would be harder to hate us, because in the end, you can't hate what you already love.
Joan of Arc of secularism, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a confession to make. I am an evil little thing. That seems to be my identity these days. So, why am I here? I don't necessarily feel like I belong here. I don't think I'm as experienced as the other speakers here. I'm the youngest speaker here. I'm undoubtedly the smallest speaker here. This movement, when I think of this movement, the first thing that comes to mind are the students in it. Can all the students, like, raise your hands? Yeah, I would say that's most of you. And I think what the students in this movement are doing is amazing. And I think it's what brings people together in the biggest way. I witnessed firsthand people all over the world come together to support me and what I was doing. And that's something that I can't begin to express in words, how good it feels. I began all of this when I was a freshman in high school. And it inevitably ended up becoming a lawsuit with the ACLU against my city. And I won that lawsuit in January. Which was, of course, a positive thing. But, you know, some people don't necessarily like to see it that way. And since then, there's been everything. You can't imagine the things that I've heard in school. I'll walk down a hallway and people will say, "Ew, it's the atheist." There have been people on the internet, obviously. There was a state representative, Peter Palumbo, who did call me an evil little thing.
Oh!
But, you know, I should give him some credit in a way. Because, yeah, he gave me a good title there. So, what I said before about this movement, I think the students are really an important part of that. And today I want to say that I'm here not because, you know, I'm an accomplished biologist or a famous writer or anything along those lines, but I'm here because I'm a student. And I'm here to tell you that what I did can be done by anybody.
As Neil deGrasse Tyson says, facts are true whether or not you believe them. Now, here are some of my beliefs that are true to me. You cannot teach kids about sex by telling them not to have it. I believe that making drugs illegal is stupid and damaging to us as a people. I believe that if we take care of our surroundings, they will take care of us. I believe that inside every tool is a hammer. I believe that people have an inalienable right to choose what to do with their own bodies. I believe that in a community it is our duty that we should take care of each other in times of need. I believe that if you tell people the truth and let them make decisions based on that, much of the time they'll make pretty good decisions, but not always. I believe that that which is detestable to you, you should not do to another. I believe that while not all people are essentially good, most are trying. I believe that rules do not make us moral. Loving each other makes us moral. And finally, I have concluded through careful empirical analysis and much thought that somebody is looking out for me, keeping track of what I think about things, forgiving me when I do less than I ought, giving me strength to shoot for more than I think I'm capable of. I believe they know everything that I do and think, and they still love me, and I've concluded after careful consideration that this person keeping score is me.
Got it? Atheism is a religion like abstinence is a sex position. Now, believe it or not, not, I don't really enjoy talking about religion all the time. In fact, not only is atheism not a religion, it's not even my hobby. And that's the best thing about being an atheist. It requires so little of your time. But there is a growing trend in this country that needs to be called out. And that is to label any evidence-based belief a religion. Many conservatives now say that belief in man-made climate change is a religion, and Darwinism is a religion, and of course atheism, the total lack of religion, is somehow a religion too, according to the always reliable Encyclopedia Moronica. Now, it's a dodge, of course, straight out of the grand intellectual tradition of I know you are, but what am I? It's a way of saying, hey, we all believe in some sort of faith-based malarkey, so let's call it a push. No. No, 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 no. It's not fair that people who can't defend their own nonsense get to create a fake, fair and balanced argument, the way they do in asserting that evolution and creationism are equally valid. I'm not saying that atheists are perfect thinkers. Everyone has blind spots. I'm sure there are atheists who think ponytails look good on a man. Pineapple belongs on a pizza. Ayn Rand was an important thinker, but when it comes to religion, we're not two sides of the same coin, and you don't get to put your unreason up on the same shelf with my reason. Your stuff has to go over there on the shelf with Zeus and Thor and the Kraken. With the stuff that is not evidence-based. Stuff that religious people never change their mind about, no matter what happens. That's not atheism. I'm open to anything for which there's evidence. Show me a God and I will believe in him. If Jesus Christ comes down from the sky during the halftime show of this Sunday's Super Bowl and turns all the nachos into loaves and fishes, well, I'll think two things. First, how dare he interrupt Madonna? She is going to be pissed. And two, oh, look at that, I was wrong. There he is. My bad, praise the Lord. But that's not going to happen. And short of that, if you still insist atheism is a religion, then it's only fair that we get to do all the loony stuff that you get to do. And I'm going to start tonight by unbaptizing Mitt Romney's dead father-in-law. In case you didn't hear, it was discovered last week that Edward Davies, Ann Romney's father, an enthusiastically anti-religious scientist who called organized faith hogwash, was posthumously baptized in the Mormon tradition 14 months after he died. They tried to do it sooner, but he wouldn't stop spinning in his grave. So here then is history's first unbaptism ceremony, right now. For the late Edward Davies. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the presence of math, gravity, evolution, and electricity to honor Brother Edward and to send the powers of SEAL Team 666 to rescue him from planet Kolob so that he may spend eternity with the kind of freethinkers he chose to hang out with on Earth. So by the power granted to me by the Blair Witch, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, E pluribus mumbo jumbo, expecto patronum, sususudio, yo mama, I call upon the Mormon spirits to leave your body the fuck alone. Brother Edward, in this world you had to put up with Mitt Romney, you've suffered enough.
We're here for you. It's a bit too far away for me to attend, but we atheists are sending you some sunshine from South Africa. And Sheenan, you crack me up. Sheenan says, why must we be one nation under God? What's wrong with just being one nation under Canada?
What a magnificent, inspiring sight. I was expecting great things even in fine weather. In the rain, look at this. This is the most incredible sight I can remember ever seeing. The sharper critical thinkers among you may have discerned that I don't come from these parts. I see myself as an emissary from a benighted country that does not have a constitutional separation between church and state. Indeed, we don't have a written constitution at all. We have a head of state who is also the head of the Church of England. The church is deeply entwined in British public life. The American Constitution is a precious treasure, the envy of the world. The First Amendment to the Constitution, which enshrines the separation between church and state, is the model for secular constitutions the world over and deserves to be imitated the world over. How sad it would be if, in the birthplace of secular constitutions, the very principle of a secular constitution were to be betrayed in a theocracy. And it's come close to that. How could anyone rally against reason? How is it necessary to have a rally for reason? Reason means basing your life on evidence and on logic, which is how you deduce the consequences of evidence. In 100 years' time, it seems to me inconceivable that anybody could want to have a rally for reason. By that time, we'll either have blown ourselves up, or we'll have become so civilized that we no longer need it. I must keep an eye on the time.
Okay, we just got some questions about World War II. What the fudge cake was going on there? 50 million, did it have to go that high? So, I don't believe it. Also, if God does turn up, we do assume that he would have a deep voice. That is one thing. You do assume he would, hi, I am here and I am God. But he could turn up and go, hello, I'm God. And he'd have to come through the trees or something. He couldn't just walk on. If he just walked on it, you go, that's not God. So you'll go, yeah, I was just backstage having a coffee. And it wouldn't change. No one would go, because in Europe, it's kind of different to here. I know you've got God going on, and there was a woman from Romania talking about Eastern Europe, but we really have moved beyond God in Britain, for certain. Interestingly, in politics, no one gets elected. In America, you've got to say, God bless America. No one says, God bless Europe. No one says, God bless the UK. You can't get elected with that. Interesting, huh? So the times, they are changing, and it is a good thing. My other proof of God, that there is no God, is that God should have flicked Hitler's head off. Surely, if there is a God, he should have just flicked Hitler's head off. What is he waiting for? There were some clues there. Hitler wrote a book called Mein Kampf, which is German for I'm going to kill everyone. That's a little clue. He did those huge speeches at Nuremberg where he said, I'm going to kill everyone. And all the Nazis were there going, Nazis, Nazis. Kill everyone. Good idea. And it would be so easy for God, using the long arm, just like Monty Python, just come down and just flick Hitler's head off right at a big bit, and another thing. And all the Nazis, Nazis, Nazis. Nazis, Nazis. Hands, his head's come off. Hitler's head's come off. Hey guys, I think Hitler's head's come off. It's just behind. Fucking SS. I think it's all over. I think his head's come off. It's his fucking head. Hands, it's all over. Want a swastika? Swastika? Turn it inside out. It's good luck in India. It is. It's an Indian symbol. Good luck. Bizarro, huh? God should have done that. Even when Mrs. Hitler, who was called Schicklgruber, I think that, when she had the baby, surely the baby should come out, hey, what should we call it? Adult. So suddenly the head goes, boom, and just drops off. Oh, it's broken, all right. And if people say God's not supposed to get involved, then what the fuck are we going into the buildings for and doing all the mumbling on Sundays? The Sunday mumbling must add up to something. 50 million dead. When do you come in? Even the German army tried to kill Hitler, and no, if God existed, no, I'm going to stop that. What? He's not there, kids. He's just not there. And also, if he is there, he could be French. No, honestly, because you always assume, if English is your first language, you assume that God will come, I am here. But he could come down and, je suis ici. Je suis Dieu, je suis ici, maintenant. Qu'est-ce que vous voulez? Je suis le Dieu. And we'd all be going, oh, shit. Didn't do, bonjour. I didn't do much of the, oh, fuck. And then he'd have to go, I was in the sky. I did not know how, what, you don't speak French? Why? Because all the French people think, if they're religious, they think in German, they think he's German, and Russian people think he speaks Russian. They obviously don't wake up, they don't have dreams with him, speaking in English. Anyway, so he's there. So you people, you've got an election coming up. So you are the thinking people. You're the self-choosing, chosen people, Not chosen by God. You chose using your own brain power to come, to do, to think, to stand up, to come out of the closet and say this stuff. You know how much it takes to do this. I'm a transvestite. I've come out of 2 closets. It's amazing. There's truckloads of closets out there. So the stuff, you need to know stuff which I've learned from Wikipedia, which is really good to learn. No, it's good because there's a lot of good stuff in there. So, beginning of time, right? The beginning of time. There's 2 beginnings of time. There's the religious one where the world started 6,000 years ago, and then there's the science one. It started 4,500 million years ago. They're not the same. They don't overlap. In the Venn diagram, if Venn was here doing Venn diagrams, there's no fucking mix on that one. They're 2 separate circles, miles apart, right? And religious people do tend to say, well, science is just full of theories. Well, religion is just full of stories. They're not even theories. It's one level below. It's just what somebody said. Having said that, I think the stuff in the Bible, the stories are probably true. They're handed down through history. It's the mystical top coat and then they went to the clouds and had a baby in a sunspot or something like that. All that stuff up there. No, but the downstairs stuff. Mr. Jeezy Creasy, yeah? I think he was a real bloke called Yeshua or Joshua. Jesus is the Greek version of the name. And if he did stuff as a human, fantastic. What an amazing thing. If he's the Son of God, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to be magic. You've got magic powers. You're doing water and wine, fish into gerbils, whatever you do. So the beginning of time, 4,500 million years ago, that's when the world started spinning, yeah? Boom, boom, boom. In the religious version, it's all this Genesis. God made the world in 6 days. The first day he made jam, helicopters, baked potatoes, rabbits, dogs, fish, gunga din, helicopters and rabbits. 2 more rabbits, little rabbits were getting on. Tuesday, he made spoons, Krakatoa, the Virgin Islands, trains, cake, socks and dung. The 3rd day he said, I gotta get a list because I'm just making shit up here. Probably not in case there is an end of time, and then you can be in the agnostic queue, in the agnostic line, and you can say, because God will be there, and you go, hi. No, I was never an atheist. No, I was agnostic. Yeah, I was never quite sure. And now I'm sure. Mainly because you bloody turned up. Yeah, so can I come in? Because if there is a heaven and hell, there's only toilets. It's probably like heaven's got toilets, there's no toilets in hell. Probably something like that. But yes, so now I'm an atheist, but I'm a spiritual atheist. So this is what I think, because I don't believe in God, but I do believe in us. I believe in people. I believe we can change things. If you ever get depressed, draw a line from the ancient Egyptians to now, and we are doing it. We are changing it. We've got gay marriage in Europe. You're arguing about it. We've got it. Things have moved forward. We are getting there. We will have a world government with a government of the people, by the people, for the people. And in that government, you will have a place where reason always wins and that religious dogma is always conquered by common sense.